Yo, what's going on, gambling, YouTube, and fellow degens? It is I, the Gale, back at it again with another Prize Picks and NBA betting video. So, you know, I started this channel because I've been doing DFS and gambling for a while, and I'm not gonna say I'm the best. I'm not gonna say I'm an expert, but I know enough not to lose my money and stuff. Like basically, I kind of know what I'm doing. So I just want to share my wealth or share the wealth and just teach people how to fish. And I'm still learning as well, right? Like I'm still learning on the daily, but I have years of experience, and I think that I can help people win a little bit of extra money. So in this video, I'm going to give you guys 3 more tips to help you win money and not lose as much money, right? So these tips might be basic. You might have heard these before, or maybe it's something that you've never considered. So let's just get into it. So when it comes to picking players, like when it comes to honing in on players for the day, first off, I like to go to the sports book, right? I like to look at the odds. So what this does is this gives you an idea of what games to target. So you can go to any sports book, or you don't even have to have an account. You can just go to the sports book and see what the odds are. So what I like to do is I like to look at the total, the total points, and the spread. So this would tell you what games might be popping off. So when I come over here, this Bulls versus Warriors game jumps out at me. It's got a 237 over under, and it's only got a 4-point spread. So this tells me that there should be a lot of scoring and that the game should be close as long as nothing crazy happens. This OKC Thunder or OKC Nets game also jumps out. 230 spread, 5-point difference. And since I'm kind of up to date with my NBA news, I know that Kevin Durant is out. So that makes me like the Nets guys even more. So that Kyrie, Ben Simmons, even a Royce O'Neal. So I know that those are the players that I might want to target in this high total game, because somebody has to score. And if the game is going to be close, then you know that Kyrie is probably going to be scoring the points. You know that he needs some help, right? So who's going to help him? Ben Simmons is not going to score, but he's going to be facilitating. He's going to get rebounds and assists. So, stuff like that. And then this Kings game also jumps out. Spurs are a good team to attack. And every time, somebody attacks the Spurs, you kind of want to look at that. So you see a 246 total, highest on the slate, and it's only a 7-point spread. So that's still pretty close, right? So that Sabonis is going to probably go off. That Fox is going to go off. Like those are the main scorers, and maybe Harris Barnes, Harry B. Yeah, that's his name, right? But yeah. And then on the Spurs team, maybe like a Keldon Johnson if he's playing. But if not, then you want to go Trey Jones or one of his other teammates. So yeah, that's basically what I do. I go to the sports book and I look. And also one more time, the 76ers Lakers games, you see this a 234 total and only a 3-point spread. So Embiid and Harden is going to do their thing, and maybe a little Tobias Harris, but mostly Embiid and Harden. That's where you want to look. And then if LeBron is playing, of course you want to play LeBron, and then a Westbrook type, right? So that's kind of how I hone in on. That's how this is how I start my day. I look at the sports books and just see which games I want to target, because not every game is fantasy friendly or scoring friendly. So that's the first thing you want to do if you haven't been doing that already. Let's move on to the second thing. Okay, so the next thing I like to do is I like to look at matchups, DVP, player versus position. So this isn't always accurate, but more often than not, it helps. So I like to focus on each player's. This is the Line Star app. I am not sponsored by them. I'm just sharing what I use. So it tells me that Joel Embiid is in the best matchup that he could possibly be in today versus the Lakers. He is the Lakers are 30th versus centers. So it also shows what a Line Star app shows, like the past 5 performances. So I see that Christian Wood went off, Jokic went off, Sabonis went off, Adebayo went off. So this leads me to believe that Embiid is going to have a great game. And as you've just seen, I already, by looking at the sports book, the game environment is very friendly. High total, close spread. So Embiid is somebody that I'm going to target today. I'm just going to target him today. So it shows me that Bryant is in a good spot. Christian Wood is in a decent spot versus Portland. Sabonis is in a good spot. And once again, another game environment that I already targeted. So that's two. That's already 2 check marks for Sabonis, right? Good game, and he's in a good spot, right? So, yeah, that's what I like to do. And then we go to power forward and just see who's in a good spot, and then at the same time, kind of look at who's in the bad spot, right? You want to look for players to avoid as well, not just to target. Let's see, Royce O'Neal. I called out Royce O'Neal before I looked at his position. So he's in a great game environment and he's in a good position. So he might be somebody that I might like to add in a couple of parlays. Harrison Barnes, I called him out before I looked over here. So yeah, that just gives me more of a reason to hone in on specific players. Patrick Beverley, I might not want to target him. He's in a great spot, but he doesn't get minutes like that. And like you would only know that if you like have experience. So sometimes your intuition and experiences will mix into your decision making, and that comes with time. You know, you can't really pay for experience. I mean, I guess you can. You could pay for people to tell you what to do, but at the end of the day, you really want to be able to make decisions for yourself, right? It always helps to rely on other people, but at the end of the day, you want to be the person who can like make the snap judgments and the quick decisions. If somebody gets ruled out, you want to know who to play, and you don't want to have to wait for somebody else to tell you that. So Luka Doncic is in a great spot, and it's Luka. I always play Luka. That's going to be a rule of mine. Just always play Luka. If he fails, he fails, right? But yeah, that's what I like to do. I like to look at the position and matchups as well. Like I said, it's not a guarantee, but more often than not, it's going to tell you who's in a good spot, and usually they're right. You know, players sometimes they just don't perform, but yeah, that's a good thing to do, is to look at the matchups, because you know certain areas you can attack, like centers versus Charlotte. That is almost like a given. As long as the center is good, centers versus Charlotte's usually goes off because they're weak at that position. So yeah, that's the second thing that I like to do. So let's take a look at tip number 3, and then we'll call it a video. Okay, so if you've been playing NBA fantasy or prop betting for any amount of time, then you should know by now that not a day goes by, not a slate goes by where a player isn't ruled out unexpectedly or injured or something crazy happens. So because of that, you want to stay up. You want to stay up to the news, like up to the date on the news as it happens, because lines move, and you know there's edges to be had if you can react to news quickly enough. So with that being said, if you don't already have a Twitter, then you might want to make one just to get the updates. So I like to go to Underdog, NBA, or Fantasy Labs, and what you're going to do is you're going to hit this bell right here, this bell icon next to the following button, and then you're going to go to all tweets. So you're going to hit all tweets, and you'll get notified for all tweets as they come out. So 9 hours ago, Tim Hardaway Jr. ankle won't return Saturday. Well, that was an in-game announcement, but a lot of times you're going to get announcements before the game starts. And with that news, I like to rush over to Prizepicks and see what the props are looking like, because Prizepicks a lot of times are kind of slow to react to the news. So that's where you can get your lays in before the player gets bumped. So that's kind of what I do all the time. When, like, if it says LeBron James has been ruled out, then I'll go over and make a few Westbrook and Schroeder lineups, and just, you know, before the bump comes in, because every point counts, as you know, right? Like, how many times have you lost the bet because of the hook, or by a few points? You know, that's why every point matters. Like, you want to get in before the bump. So basically, those are 3 things that you can do to give yourself an advantage when it comes to NBA or even NFL fantasy. So yeah, everything helps. So, you know, you want to give yourself as many advantages as you can. Like I said, we're just trying to learn how to fish. You know, we can all win over here. There's no secrets. We can all win. We're not really betting against each other like it's daily fantasy, you know. So with that, that's all I got. So if you enjoyed the content, feel free to like the video and subscribe for more content like this. Leave something in the comments. Let me know if this was helpful. Let me know what else you might like to see, and share the video with your friends if you think it was helpful. So once again, thanks for watching, and good luck today, and let's cash. Peace.